Welcome back to our channel, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had Patrick Covello with those big ass ears, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and have him smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the following patrons: Nathan, Marshall, John Wick, Pepe, Scott, Mika Boy, Ramon, Lead with Love, Johnny, Charles, Albert 12, Soulstar LA, Coach Ken, Miguel L, AI Vega, Claudia Esquiel, Miguel, Leader Actions Under the Christ, Big Bad 48, JT, Nova, Jack, Linda, Michigan Wolverines, Marius, Chevelle 66, Gigi, Abuelita's Journey, and Daus Herrero. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you hit that link in the description below. You definitely do not want to be missing out. This episode right here, man. Hector, what was it like going through the academy? The California Department of Corrections Academy. What year did you go? How long was it? And what was it like? What were you like in there? Well, I'm glad you asked, G. I'm about to tell you. So as you know, I did 16 years with the California Department of Corrections as an officer, sergeant, and lieutenant. But my whole entire career started in the year 2006. Aside from the whole hiring process, I'm going to start you off from the academy. I'm from Brawley, right? A small town in Southern California. That's why I be talking the way I be talking. It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody, right? A really good friend of mine, right? Shout out to Dizzle. We grew up since kindergarten. He had, let me see, 3 brothers. Maybe more. I can't think right off the... Dude had a lot of brothers, right? I grew up, I was always at their pad. One of them started the academy the same day I did. By sheer luck, we're both. So he had just had a newborn, right? A newborn baby. Man, your boy right here, Hector, was 22 years old. Young. He had a newborn. We're both from Brawley. The academy was going to be in Stockton, California, 209. Shout out to the 209. At an old female prison that had been vacated. Right next to some juvenile hall. Right next to some youth authority. Little jail type. Right now they also build CHCF, the new Stockton prison, so it's like right in the middle, right? If you look, I think it's right in the middle. They're all nearby. That was a freaking 8-hour drive. It had to have been like 8 hours from Brawley, B-Town, all the way up to Stockton. I remember that initial drive. I'm like thinking, oh man, we're not gonna come back down again, right? The academy then was 16 weeks. I'm glad you asked. If you're an OG veterano, you went to the 6-week academy, right? Early 90s, rocking and rolling. Boom, pow, bang, pow. Level 4 GP, Centinela, throwing each other off the tiers, right? Stabbing each other. Blue and green stabbing each other. It's just mayhem, right? Well, I went in 06. By then, it had become a 16-week academy. College hours, Monday through Friday, weekends off. 8 to 4-ish. A cadet, what you be wearing is at that time your jumpsuit, a green jumpsuit with no badge, right? Because you haven't earned it yet. So you'd be having the shoulder patches. I want to say your name, but no patch. Day 1. I'm sitting in the rows of chairs with the fellow cadets. The sergeants walking around with their smokies, thinking they're somebody's, right? Your boy had already been to basic training. The whole yelling, I was numb to the yelling, right? Or I could see right through it. I'm sitting in the chair and all of a sudden I hear a female voice. Hector? I'm like, what the hell? Ain't nobody supposed to be knowing me up here, right? And I turn around. Yeah, it was a childhood friend, female type, that I grew up with as well. I'm like, oh, hey, what up? Man, so we were going through the academy. She would later go on to a prison down south and get caught in a relationship with an inmate, end up on losing her job, end up on visiting the inmate. Just the whole, right? At the time, I was single and ready to mingle. 22, man. You go through your phases, right? You learn like your phases of the academy. Well, we were sleeping in cells. We were sleeping in vacated cells. You have a day room, 270 design. You got A section, B section, C section. The cell doors were locked in the open position, right? If you guys know in a prison cell, or you don't be knowing, because I'll be telling you guys, like at Centinela, if you push a button, it'll pop the cell. It's not like in probably Calipat or in Ad Seg where you can open and close the cell door in the control booth. So these doors were popped open, like locked in the lock position. If you pull it all the way over here, it'll lock open. There was a curtain right there where the door is supposed to be. Where the toilet and the sink are supposed to be, it was removed. There was a wall locker there where you could hang up your jumpsuits, your clothes, your off-duty clothes or whatever. And the fucking shelf was the same. The desk in the back of the cell was the same. The two bunks were the same. But it was single cell status. Thankfully, everybody was by themselves. I wouldn't like to be sharing a cell with somebody. Didn't appreciate that. But I didn't have to go through it. So, I'm gonna wet my fucking whistle. You go through your lesson plans, you go through your arrest and your control, right? Your self-defense. Get down! Get down! Get down! Right? For those that you guys don't be knowing, people always wonder what the hell do they teach you guys on the green side. I'm probably the first person in history to ever do this. Gracias a ti. Right? Get down! Get down! You had your sergeants. We had, your new sergeants, but there was some that with some OGs. I remember too. The dude was at Centinela, and then the dude was at Donovan. I know which one I'm talking about, but he wasn't necessarily a bad guy. He was kind of a hard ass from Chicago, right? Some might even say gangster disciple type. Or he knew them, or he dude wasn't dirty. The dude hated inmates. The dude was strict. He was a strict OG old dude, right? They were just built different back then, those prison guards, right? The real prison guards. Well, your boy gets to talking to certain individuals, right? I mean, there was females in the class. Take that for what it's worth. There was 11 cadets due to go work down at Centinela. 11, right? They kind of, for the most part, they separate your class. I mean, there was some people going to Tehachapi. There was, I think, a dude going to Lancaster. For sure, there was like a chick going to Avenal. So, Calipat. But there was 11 of us, right, from down south that were going to Centinela. We had learned about the San Quentin 7 or the San Quentin 6, the whole escape with the violence thing back in the day. So we called ourselves the Centinela 6. I remember the seating. There was like 6 of us in the back row. That's where all the troublemakers be hanging out, in the back row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could remember where everybody was sitting too, because I remember I was the third from the last chair, right? And, you're kind of like, I don't want to say high school. That wasn't like high school, because you're learning. You're trying to learn. It's more like summer camp. Yeah, high school would be like, for me, it was more like a summer camp. Like you're just hanging out with a bunch of people, and after work, you got to go study. You got to take a lot of written examinations. So you got to go. There's a Starbucks up the road. There's like a Holiday Inn or some type of hotel up the road. Don't be asking me how I know all these things. I told you we were in prison cells. Ain't nobody want to be fucking around in a prison cell. Here we go. I love it. You have no chill, Hector. I know. But, so there's like a Starbucks. Oh. So mind you, I told you guys the initial drive up north, 8 hours. I said, we ain't ever doing this drive again. Well, considering that my friend had a newborn, and now I get it, we made that drive every single Friday for 16 weeks. Except for one weekend I went to Reno, right? I got family in Reno. Shout out to them. I gambled, and I remember, I'm not a gambler, but I won like $200 or $300 on like the penny slots. I remember that. So every weekend, there we be going. Friday, we get off at 4 p.m., load up in the vehicles, half and half. Either I would drive the first half all the way to the Grapevine. The Grapevine, right, kind of north of L.A. We would pull over at the AM, PM, gas up. I would get the big fucking 40-sized monster. The 40-sized monster with the twisty. And then I would get the cheeseburgers. And I would smash that. Boom, boom. And then we would switch. And then I would drive the remainder from the Grapevine to Brawley, California, the Imperial Valley. With my laundry bag, right? With my laundry bag. Because I had my dirty jumpsuits and dirty clothes or whatever. Go to my parents' house. I didn't own a home at the time. I was 22. Go to my parents' house, wash my laundry. We leave the academy Friday, 4 p.m. We would always get to Brawley by waves at like 1 a.m. So from 4 p.m. driving, on a Saturday, already the next day, and then we would just hang out with family for half a day, or a whole day and a half. Sunday, I remember it was like football season, we would, like 1 p.m., we would load up in the car and drive back up to Stockton, because there's a curfew, or there was a curfew. The curfew being said that you had to be back in the grounds like at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Something like that. Could have been 11. And, yeah, there was a little sign-in sheet. Sometimes you'd be having a sergeant looking around. It was kind of strict. Not too strict like a boot camp. But kind of like they were trying. Right. Give them credit. And then do it all over again. Right? Do it all over again. So since Stockton's right there, and I'm hanging out with a bunch of homies from down south, right? The Centinela 6, and you meet the other people going to the other prisons, we would all go to a little town called Manteca. I liked it. Kind of gave me the vibes of El Centro. Manteca was cool. What I think I liked about Manteca was, and I'm probably pronouncing it like a white boy, but I don't care. Brad. What I liked about the, Brad, I just thought of a white boy, and that's Brad, seems like a white name. There was a bar called Rookies, still might even be there. Big ass screen TVs, right? I remember the Cowboys game versus the Seahawks when they iced their own kicker. I was heartbroken. Couldn't believe it. That was that time frame. We'd go. I used to drink back then. Right? This was 2006. Your boy Hector Bravo did not get sober till the year 2010. I used to wild out with the alcohol. Shots of Patron. Fuck, it was like a big ass party, kind of. Well, not kind of, it was. Watching the game, laughing, bullshitting, then come back before curfew and then just do it all over again. Go to the class, learn, get off work, go study at the Starbucks, go to Manteca, go drink, and party all wild out all night, and then come back and just do it all over again. Was it? What about the physical fitness, Hector? You look like you got the You look like you got some cuts. You looks like you're cortado, G. I was a fat fuck back then, right? I was chubby. I had got back from Iraq in 2005. I let myself go. Your boy was going to Burger King and ordering two combinations. Let me get two number twos. Yep, Dr. Pepper. Yeah, supersize it. Why not? And eating poorly. You know, Jack in the Box down the street, Carl's Jr., Taco Bell. There was a gym there, but you know, one does what they can, right? Back then, with what you know, curls for the girls. But as far as mandated physical fitness for the academy was aerobics. Straight fucking aerobics, man. Like 30 minutes. Like, hey, rotate your arms like this. Rotate your arms like that. All right, good job, guys. Woo! Oh, man. Golly gee. There was the firearms portion of the academy. It was the 12 gauge shotgun. And I remember they said, hey, this is the last time we're going to be shooting the shotgun at the academies. They have taken it off the line already. The guy tells me, hey, man, shoot that orange on the ground. Bow! I shoot the orange on the ground. There was an orange out there on the range. 38 Special, Smith & Wesson, old revolver wheel gun, and the Mini 14 qualifying. Was there any fights? Nah, there was no fights. It's not like basic training. Was there drunken shenanigans? Yeah, often. Was it difficult? For me, studying, because if you like fail too many examinations, they're going to recycle you or kick you out or do whatever they're going to do. The post-exam, Ron Davis, where you learn penal code. I remember thinking that one was going to be difficult, right? You're a sworn peace officer for the state of California. You got to know the law. Imagine that. They ask you different questions like, hey, you're flying in a helicopter over a backyard. You see a bunch of weed in somebody's backyard. Do you have probable cause to go search the house because you've seen it? Blah, blah, blah. That examination, I remember thinking it was going to be hard. I remember thinking it was a little difficult, but I passed it with flying colors, so it wasn't hard. That one. The other ones were a little difficult. The whole fire, you're a fire captain, you're a fire marshal, blah, blah, blah. You just like, damn, gee, I ain't a fucking fireman. Yeah, kind of like college. Besides living in these cells, I showered in upper B section. I'm telling you, the fucking 279 housing unit. B section, upper shower was still the shower. There was a divider, which reminds me of a funny story. The lower B, there was washers and dryers that you put the little coins, you put the little quarters in, wash your uniform. So where did we use the bathroom? Well, I held my shit until I got off school or work, and then I went to the Walmart up north, Whataburger, Waterloo Lane, some shit like that. North of Stockton, Waterloo, some shit like that. I would hold my poop till I go there, right, like a cat. But if you couldn't hold it, cells 150 and 250 and I think 101 and 201 were like you would like when the bunk beds were back in the day. Rows and rows of silver toilets, right? Prison toilets. Oh shit, before I end this, right? So we would do causes, right? Go to different prisons. We went to Mule Creek, we went to DVI, we went to CSP SAC, New Folsom, we went to Old Folsom, we went to St. Quentin. Those are the prisons we went to, like on a field trip to learn. Cadets, right? There was this, should I say attractive female sergeant? Alright, if I haven't already told you guys, I might as well tell you guys, I keep it real. If you are okay, you guys know the scale, right? You see a girl, be like, damn, that girl's a 10 right there. Girls be doing it too, like that guy's a 10, right? That girl's a dime. If you are on the streets, you are a fucking 4. In prison, you're going to be a 7, 8, right? We call it prison 7, prison 8. It's the truth. What do you want me to tell you? I just thought of all this funny shit afterwards. So, so she was a fucking 8. She had big, huge, fake boobs, right? She had glasses. I have a thing for glasses. I don't know why. And, I know what you're thinking. Now it's going to get good. Oh, it is. It was DVI. Oh, we went to Mule Creek, too, if I didn't already say Mule Creek. It's DVI, Dual Vocational Institute. Back in the day, it was known as Gladiator School, where they were prison guards and convicts throwing each other off the 4th and 5th tier, right? The movie American Me, they throw Santana off the top. I think that was Chino, though, but that's kind of what it looked like. All these big-ass tiers. Old school-ass prison. Castle, medieval times type of deal. So this hot-ass sergeant, the big old boobs and those glasses, white girl type. We are in the class, right? Because we would do like a little briefing before the closet and a debrief after. Hey guys, what the hell did you learn over there? Were you scared by the inmates? Were they spooky? Did they intimidate you? Did you learn anything? Blah, blah, blah. So, before, right, we're all learning. We don't know what the hell is going on. We're new to the department. We're green, literally. This sergeant stands up in front of the class, right, and tells us, this is a classroom full of like probably 30, give or take, maybe 40, give or take. And you set up like in platoons or whatever, companies. That was Romeo Company, companies. She starts going off on a fucking spill. Hey guys, and I know... The thing about the department is people talk, and you're going to hear rumors, and everybody's like, what the fuck? What is this broad talking about? What is she talking about, right? And I just want to let you guys know that everything you hear in the department is not always true. We're like, yeah, whatever, lady, let's get this shit on. Let's get this fucking show on the road, man, right? We don't want to go to DVI. We be hearing about the Gladiator School, and blah, blah, blah. You're going to hear some things. Not all of it's true. Holy shit. Well, when we get to the prison, sure enough, man, there's regular COs working there. So they were like, oh, hey, so-and-so, old girl right there, big ass skank, right? Damn, she done been passed around the department. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. They said, man, you know what the difference between a zebra and a female sergeant is? I'm like, what? It's like a zebra doesn't lay on his back to get his stripes. Oh, they were laying it on thick, right? Thick on this sergeant. It all started computing. Like, no wonder she gave this big giant spill that nobody cared about before. Now these guys over here at the prison are funny. They're hilarious. Oh, they fucking laid into her. Oh, man. Giving up dirt. Exposing, pulling the sheets, right? Poor girl, man. Poor girl. We go back to the academy. She was dating a young sergeant at the academy, too. Motherfucker looked like Mario Lopez with 2 years in the department. How you go to the academy with 2 years in the department as a sergeant? I don't know. Motherfucker looked like Mario Lopez at the time. I remember. All the cadets, female, were like drooling over this dude. I'm not even hating. I'm just telling you that hot, I say hot, but fucking CDCR 8.5, 8.5 with those big fake boobs and the glasses fucking goes on a spill about don't listen to what people say. We go there, they fucking light her ass up, expose her, right? We go back, I shit you not, she's in the classroom crying, fucking crying, right? All of us now, me too, I'm just like, oh fuck, this bitch plays, right? Oh gee, golly gee, like how Greñas was salivating, not celebrating, all that motherfucker was celebrating too. Celebration, woo! No, that was roller coaster. There has to be a song called Celebration. But how Greñas was salivating over my homeboy Troy, I was like, holy shit, this chick gets down, what's up? So I hollered. Your boy shot his shot, right? It's once been said that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So this chick comes back fucking crying in front of the classroom. I told you guys people be saying rumors. So like the following day, right? I know all this shit going on now. So I see her right there outside of the housing unit. We were like lined up to go in. And I was like, oh, weird weather, huh? Weird weather. Weird weather. So she like looks at me and like fucking gives me this look, man, of disgust. And then she's like, yeah, I'm not used to this type of weather or wherever I'm. I said, oh really? Whereabouts you from? Man, trying to crack the coconut, right? Looking, throwing it. This chick looks at me, fuck, she did not give me the time of day. Did not give me the time of day at all, right? But it was worth a shot, right? It was worth a shot. So the message for today is, hey, well, that's the message. Out of everything, that's the only thing I can think of is you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? In life, in general. Fuck it. Why not? It was a risk walking away from the department, right? It was a risk. But I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. And I want to thank all you guys for the support, the unconditional, utmost support you guys have been giving me. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Keep pushing forward.